Yo, what's good, people? What's going on, people? All right. So, I'm assuming that a lot of people by now heard the news that the U.S. Supreme Court has officially overturned Roe v. Wade. And the Supreme Court has also overturned another uh, abortion case, another Supreme Court abortion case. I forgot the name of that Supreme Court case, but thus, abortion is no longer a right that is protected by the federal government. It is, as of right now, it is now up to each individual state to determine whether or not they'll protect people's abortion rights, or if they'll ban abortion, or if they'll make more restrictions on abortions, right? What's going on, Sheed? What's up, Sheed? We here. What's going on? And the thing is that from the time that the draft opinion was leaked to the public till now, a lot of people who spoke about this topic, regardless if they are on either side of the argument, whether they are for Roe v. Wade being overturned or if they're against Roe v. Wade being overturned, have been wrong when it comes to this. Once again, like I said, let me repeat myself. Ever since the Supreme Court draft opinion was leaked to the public, stating that Roe v. Wade might be overturned, to today, when it's officially overturned, people all across the country who are on either side of the argument have been incorrect about what they said. Whether a person is for Roe v. Wade being overturned or those who are against Roe v. Wade being overturned have been wrong. Why do I say that? Because I'm listening to people's reactions when it comes to this concept, right? On one hand, those who are against Roe v. Wade being overturned by the Supreme Court are trying to make it seem as if it's the end of the world, that women's rights are being taken away from them, and how, this is somehow the beginning of Armageddon. That's what they're trying to make it seem like. They're trying to make it seem as if this is some Armageddon-like type of event, that this is somehow some traumatic incident, when in reality, the majority of states in the United States are not planning to ban abortions. Some states are. Some states are thinking of putting a complete ban of abortion, but most states are either planning to put more restrictions on abortions or just leaving their state abortion laws as is. Okay? So it's not the end of the world. And those who are living in states that completely bans abortions can freely travel to another state that still has legal abortion. Okay? It's not the end of the motherfucking world. But on the flip side, those who are for and agree with the overturning of Roe v. Wade are also in the wrong, because they're thinking that this is a brand new day where things are going to get better. I don't know, those who are anti-abortion or pro-life, they think that this is a victory on their part, where, okay, now they have just kicked down the doors of Planned Parenthood, that they have, finally defeated the abortion industry, when the abortion industry is still alive and well. It's just not going to be alive and well in all states within the United States, but on some states it will be. You know, and it's like, and it's like, okay, like I'm real puzzled as to how people who are on either side of the abortion argument don't realize that if you want to solve the issue of either reducing abortion or, that's for those who are pro-life, they want to reduce abortion, or they want, or if somebody, or if you want people to just live in a society where they have rights and they're happy and they're content, as so the people who are pro-life claim, okay, then the solution is to remove poverty. See, in order to solve the abortion issue, what's going on, Shakanulu? In order to truly solve the abortion issue, you have to solve the poverty issue. Because poverty is one of the main factors that lead a lot of females to get abortions. As so, when you just do the studies, the overall majority of females that get abortions are poor. They're living under the poverty rate or close to living underneath the poverty rate. As a matter of fact, I actually provided the information on one of my prior videos called Understanding the Abortion Problem in the U.S. And it's like those who are on either side of the abortion issue, those who are for abortions, those who are pro-choice, or those who are pro-life, don't understand that. None of them understand that. It's so this ruling, this Supreme Court ruling, to me is not even. It's not going to change shit. It's not really going to change shit. I mean, some conservatives think that it's going to change things. It's not going to change shit, especially when now you have a lot of companies like big time companies like JP Morgan and Chase, the largest banking institution in the United States, right? Companies like Amazon, Apple, Starbucks, these big time companies that employ plenty of people all over the country, have now offered to extend their benefits to give their employees travel benefits to travel in other states to get abortions if they live in states that ban abortions. Not only that, I read earlier today in which there's a abortion provider called Just the Pill, right? Just the Pill. They've said that what they're going to do is that they're going to provide mobile abortion clinics, right? And put them on the borders of states that have legalized or put more restrictions on abortions, to make females who live in these states could, spend less time traveling to other states to get an abortion. Therefore, making it easier for females who live in the states that that bans abortion to get abortion access. Exactly. Basically, black girls, yeah, interstate abortions, yeah. So let's say, for example, okay, I live in New York State, right? Right? The state, okay, Ohio is next to New York State. Let's say, for example, Ohio's right next to New York State. It's west of New York State, right? So let's say, for example, if Ohio completely bans abortion, right? I don't know if they have or if they haven't, but let's say if the state of of Ohio, due to the overturning of Roe v. Wade, have completely banned abortions. The abortion provider named Just the Pill plan to have mobile abortion clinics and put them on the New York-Ohio border, right? Because we know in New York State, abortions is still going to be legal. But like I said, assuming that Ohio, hypothetically speaking, bans abortions, Just the Pill plans to put the mobile abortion bans on the border, on the New York side of the Ohio-New York border, for so those who are living in Ohio and want abortion access can easily go to the border, for so they won't have to travel even further to get abortion access. Just basically making traveling or access to abortion easier to find for those living in states that ban abortions. So with these things happening, you're not going to change, nobody's going to change anything concerning abortions. Abortion rate is not going to drop. Well, actually, the abortion rate have been dropping naturally. Yeah, it's actually have been dropping within the past 30 years. But what I'm saying is that you're not going to completely ban abortions. Abortions is not going to be completely banned, especially when poverty still exists. If people were real serious about banning abortions or getting rid of abortions, just get rid of poverty. Get rid of poverty, and you'll see how much abortion rates will drop even more once you get rid of poverty. And if you do your research, single mothers, statistically speaking, according to the CDC and to the Guttmacher Institute, which is an organization that does studies on abortions, right? Single mothers are the ones that get the most abortions. Single mothers are more likely to get abortions than females who are not single mothers. One main reason why is because they too poor to even take care of the children that they already have. Thus, them having another child is going to be much more of a financial strain to them, right? Thus, they feel that their only hope is to get an abortion. Once again, that's linked to poverty. And not only that, single motherhood is linked to poverty, which is why if you go to communities where they're lower in the economic ladder, you see more single parent households. But if you go to communities where it's higher up in the economic ladder, you'll see less single parent households. Poverty and single parenthood intertwines. So thus, if you get rid of poverty, you drastically reduce single parent households just by doing that. And if you reduce single parent households, you drastically reduce the abortion rate, being that single mothers are the ones most likely to get abortions anyway. And it's like those who stand on either side of the abortion issue don't understand that. You even got, I think even motherfuckers, there was journalists on NBA TV at all stations where it's supposed to be talking about basketball, where you got a reporter on NBA TV, crying and complaining about the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. And it's supposed to be a station where it's talk about basketball, but this person's crying and complaining about that. I don't get that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody have a right to state their opinion about the situation, but Okay, if you are a journalist for a station that's supposed to be talking about the National Basketball Association, you're supposed to stick to talking about sports, right? But basically what I'm trying to get at is that um a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. There are, let me see. They're just, it's just crazy. And then what I don't get about those who are on the pro-life side, right? Those who are on the pro-life side, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being pro-life. If you are pro-life and you're anti-abortion, cool. But what is it with, I mean, it seems like those who are on the pro-life side, feel as if they must force people to not get an abortion and what have you. Don't you think that with those who are pro-life, that they feel as though it is justified to make it illegal for people to get abortions, thus forcing people to not get an abortion? It's like, if you remove people, if you remove the environmental factors that would cause people to do things such as get an abortion, then you reduce the chances of that person getting an abortion. Once again, how you do that? You do that by getting rid of poverty. And I don't see anyone in these online spaces that's speaking about this topic bringing that shit up. You got all these dick suckers, right? In this fucking piece of shit space, who think they're smart, who think they're intelligent, who think they know some shit, who try to articulate themselves, who trying to make it seem as if they know some shit. They say all this bullshit, but you never hear them give the ultimate solution, which is you get rid of poverty and you drastically reduce the abortion rate. You got all these intellectual masturbators in the manosphere. They engage in this intellectual masturbation. They just give self-pleasure by talking some shit as if they know what the fuck they're talking about, when they really don't make no fucking sense, right? And they never got to the fucking nitty-gritty of how you really get rid of abortions, because the U.S. Supreme Court just overturning Roe v. Wade only means, it doesn't mean that abortion is going to be illegal everywhere in the United States. It only means that the federal government, as of right now, is not in a position to govern abortion rights. It's up to the states until, if Congress makes decide to come up with a federal constitution to protect abortion rights, in which that might happen. But nonetheless, that shit ain't going to solve shit when it comes to abortion. If people want to get rid of abortion, if people want to reduce or drastically reduce the abortion rate, which have already declined within the past 40 years, you get rid of poverty. And if nobody tells you this shit, then they ain't telling you shit. I mean, Tampa Supreme, even if you believe that it's child sacrifice, right? Okay, you believe that it's child sacrifice. But what is the solution to stop people from sacrificing their children? The solution is to end poverty. That's it. Once again, if nobody tells you this shit, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, that's okay, but Tampa Supreme, do you really? Okay, where's the evidence of that? What evidence do you have that females get abortions to avoid personal accountability? I mean, maybe some have, but where's your empirical evidence to suggest that all or the majority of females who get an abortion, they do that to just get rid of personal accountability? They just say, hey man, you know what? I just don't want to be accountable no more. I just don't want to be accountable no more. So let me just get this abortion because I hate accountability, man. Ugh, accountability. Ugh. You know, okay. Okay, no. I'm not asking for your personal experience. So now you're being anecdotal. No. I'm asking you to provide actual objective evidence to prove that. Because when I've done my research on abortion and abortion, on abortion, it doesn't say that. Like I said, I made a video a couple of weeks ago called Understanding the Abortion Issue in the U.S. And I gave the information right there. I gave links. I showed a screenshot. When it comes to abortion rate, according to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and from the Guttmacher Institute, right? And from the New York Times. And it states contrary to what you're saying. See, we can't see this is the thing with the manosphere is that we often and I'm not saying that females, and I'm not saying females are accountable, because yes, there are a certain subgroup of females who are not accountable, but let's be factually based. Let's be factually based here. If we're going to specifically state why females get abortions, let's provide that by using facts. Now, there's facts to prove that what I'm saying about abortions is true. That the majority of females that get abortions are poor. They're living under poverty. So, if poverty is a main factor of them getting abortions, then common sense would say that to get rid of poverty, you drastically reduce abortion. Okay, but Tampa Supreme, I'm not telling you to support abortions. I'm not telling you to support it. You don't have to support it. You don't have to support abortions. But what I'm saying is that, once again, if you don't support abortion, right? And if you're against abortions, then you should also be against the factors that cause abortions. One of the factors is poverty. That's one of the main factors that cause females to get abortions. Poverty. So if we get rid of poverty, we would drastically reduce abortions. And listen, this is the thing with this. Okay, this is the thing where, that's why, the manosphere need to take more time to educate themselves when it comes to certain situations like abortions, right? When it comes to certain topics like abortions, they need to educate themselves a little bit more. Because I get it that people have their feelings when it comes to abortions. People have their opinions and their views. I get that, right? But at the same time, educate yourself, because do your history when it comes to underground abortions. Because what this overturning of Roe v. Wade can eventually do, that it can eventually increase the rate of underground abortions, where females are getting abortions through places that is not, through people who are not doctors. Oh, do your research on that, on underground abortions or illegal abortions, where people are just going to a friend's house, right? Where females are going to like maybe a friend's house, they're pregnant, they go into a friend's house, they want to get rid of the pregnancy. So what they do, they go to the friend's house, open their legs, and a friend grab a fucking knife, shove it up in there, you know what, and crush the baby. And what that does, since it's being done by a non-medical professional, what that does is actually rip up organs with inside that female, thus causing that female to get sick or probably die or even become sterile. Oh, you do your research on that. So that's a dangerous thing. And once again, I'm not telling people to support abortions. Neither am I telling people to go against abortions. That's up to you, the individual, to decide which side of the abortion argument that you're on. But once again, I just think that people who are on both sides of the abortion argument are wrong when it comes to when it comes to the opinions of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. The ones who are pro-abortions think that this is the end of the world. The ones who are anti-abortions think that this is a victory. You know what I'm saying? Yo. And really, it's neither a victory or a loss, right? Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold up. I'll be right back. Yeah, and I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I think that once again, that people who are on either side of the abortion argument are looking at things from the wrong lens, because you have those who are pro-abortion who are just sitting there saying, okay, give females the rights to have an abortion, let them, get an abortion, and it's gonna be better for society if females have the right to kill their own children. And then you have the opposing side that says, okay, no, 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 they should not have any rights to get an abortion. So we're gonna force them. We're gonna overturn Roe v. Wade. We're gonna make state laws. We're gonna force these females to not get an abortion, right? And both sides are wrong. Both sides are wrong. Once again, you have to look at what is causing females to, for the most part, to want to get an abortion anyway. What environmental factors is causing these females who want to get an abortion? And the Guttmacher Institute have already gave a full study telling people this and put it out in the public. The main factor is poverty. So if people are really serious, in getting rid of abortion, get rid of poverty. Yeah, Sheed. Well, it is a money thing, Sheed. Yeah, you're right about that, Sheed. It is a money thing because what the overturning of Roe v. Wade does is that creates more business opportunities from different companies that's going to capitalize in, females in other states that might have trouble getting access to abortions. Like I just stated earlier, a company called Just the Pill that's an abortion provider. They plan to do two things, right? I mentioned one thing that they're planning to do, but I didn't mention another one. Well, I think Just the Pill, that they're an abortion provider that mail abortion pills. Like there's literally an abortion pill, like a pill that females can take to abort their children, right? If they're pregnant. Just the Pill delivers these types of pills by mail. But like I said before, what they also plan to do is to provide mobile abortion clinics, basically have a trailer to go on the borderline states of different states that ban abortions, to make abortion access easier for females that live in states that ban abortions. That's a business move right there. That's a business move. Do you know how much money that company can make? Especially they can make deal, especially if females who live in, let's say females that live in states that bans abortions work for companies like Apple or Amazon or Starbucks or JP Morgan and Chase, and their benefits program actually fund them, because a lot of companies, when it comes to their medical benefits, they fund the medical benefits of a lot of companies actually fund females to get abortions, right? And they put it underneath the title of quote unquote reproductive health services. And abortion clinics get paid by these companies that provide these benefits. I mean, this is a business opportunity. This thing is a business opportunity for a lot of companies. But because this is the thing. There's money to be made off of poverty. I'm going to say it again. There is money to be made off of poverty. Like, companies make money off of exploiting those who are poor. Companies make money off of poor people. Look at companies like Family Dollar. I might be a little bit off topic, but look at companies like Family Dollar, like a supermarket that sells food for a very cheap price. And most of these Family Dollar stores are located in poor areas. There is money to be made off of poor people. So, let's say you got different states that bans abortions, but they don't get rid of the poverty that goes on in these states, those females will be still in a position where they feel that they're pregnant, but they feel that they're too poor to keep the baby. Thus, they're in desperate need to either to do something about it. One of the things which is get an abortion. Thus, you have companies like Just a Pill that's going to capitalize off of that when it comes to giving these types of females abortion access. What's up, Tyrone? What's going on? But once again, motherfuckers who are on either side of the abortion argument are just wrong. They're wrong and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Because if you're not talking about dismantling the curse of poverty, then you're not giving any real solution on how to end or drastically reduce abortions. Just making a law to ban abortions is not really going to stop abortion. See, that's what a lot of people don't really realize, especially a lot of people in this godforsaken space. They don't realize that if you really want to end something, then you have to change the environment that influenced something to happen. And in this case, it's poverty. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people in these spaces, they have a lot of balls to talk shit to people from behind a computer because they're not in front of your face for so you could knock them the fuck out. You know, that's the thing with these trolls. You're not face to face with them for so you could fucking carve them like a Thanksgiving turkey. Therefore, they're behind a computer talking shit. But anyhow, right? Back to the topic. Now, yeah, I know you all safe. Yeah, you're very safe. What up, Wadner? You're very safe. Now, I'm not a violent monster unless if you give me a reason to be. No, don't snipe. Yo, Tyrone, let the bitch nigga slide, Tyrone. Let the bitch ass nigga slide. Let the bitch ass nigga slide right now. Don't snipe him. Don't snipe him. I know you are safe. That's actually a true statement. You are safe from people like me. Because you know damn well you would never say that shit to me face to face. I would snap your fucking neck. You would say that shit to me face to face. Bitch ass motherfucker. Well, what's going on, Wadner? Wadner, long time no see. Okay. Wadner asked an interesting question. He asked me, are you pro-life or pro-choice on this issue? Honestly, Wadner, let me see. Okay, Wadner, let me see how I'm going to answer. At times, I'm pro-life. At times, I'm pro-abortion, right? And the reason why I say that is because, for one, what's going on, King of Lions Z45? What's going on? Because, for one, okay, I see how, for one, my pro-life side see how abortions have totally fucked up the so-called black community in America, right? To the point of the fact that the number one cause of death amongst so-called black people in America is abortions. So looking at that, I see, okay, this shit is terrible. This shit is terrible. You know, abortions is the fucking devil. So that's my pro-life side. But then I see degenerates, what's going on? Sigma American Arcana, the Book of Roni, what's going on? But then I see degenerates like this Guillermo El Nino motherfucker. And I'm like, you see, motherfuckers like that shouldn't have been born. So now that's my pro-abortion side speaking. So at times, I'm pro-life. At times, when I see degenerates like Guillermo El Nino, I'm pro-abortions because, yo, listen, when I look at a lot of degenerate retards in the society, I'm like, you know what? In America, we haven't done enough abortions. We should do more. So, so, so Wagner, I hope you understand my answer. I'm like double-minded when it comes to that. Well, I won't say double-minded, but I'm sort of. Sometimes I'm on one side, sometimes I'm on the other side. That's the best way I can answer your question, Wagner. Sigma American Arcana says, ironic how abortion began as a wealthy woman's tool, but after Planned Parenthood, it's now mainly for poverty-stricken women. Correct. I never knew abortion started out as a wealthy woman's tool. I never knew that it started out, or if you meant a wealthy woman's tool as far as Margret Sanger using it as a tool. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you mean by the first part of the sentence, but if you're trying to say that abortion started out by wealthy females utilizing abortions, but now it targets poor females, yeah, then I'll agree with you because that is ironic. It's ironic, although I never knew that abortion started out targeting wealthy females, but I never knew that. But in this day and age, it targets poverty-stricken females. So once again, whichever side of the abortion argument that you're on, one thing has to be certain, that poverty is one of the main factors that influence and or cause females to get an abortion. I mean, this is not my opinion. This is actually what has studies that this is based on studies that has been conducted. Oh, okay. So Sigma American Arcana says, okay, before Planned Parenthood came to prominence, it was only available to wealthy white women. Okay. That part I never knew. I never knew that. I never knew that part. Yeah. But if that's the case, then yeah, it is ironic. What's going on in the Book of Ronan? Yeah. Yeah, internet courage is but tragic comedy. It is. It is. It is. And of course, another pathetic thing that I'm hearing from, or that I've heard like last month within these spaces, when it was first exposed that a certain like that a number of Supreme Court justices came out with a draft opinion stating how they'll overturn Roe v. Wade. What bothers me is how a lot of so-called black males online celebrated this concept, celebrated this idea of Roe v. Wade being overturned, acting as if this shit is going to make females go straight and narrow. as if the Supreme Court overturning that case is going to somehow force females to stop being whores. Like, are you kidding me? It's like, what is it with a lot of you so-called black males on the internet obsessing over females being forced to do something? What's wrong with y'all with that shit, man? You know, it's like you motherfuckers have this fake ass Dr. Martin Luther King, I have a dream type of fantasy. I have a dream that one day these hoes will stop fucking. Oh, I have a dream. The fuck wrong with you motherfuckers, man? You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know, you know, when it was first exposed to the public how the Supreme Court judges plan on overturning Roe v. Wade, so-called black males online was damn near making backflips with they dumbasses, man. Celebrating that shit. Thinking that it's going to somehow force females to be good females. I mean, I'm like, how many times have you males on here anticipate the powers that be to try to force black females to be to stop acting like a fool, and it never happened? I mean, can we? Okay, remember back in 2016 when Donald Trump became president, and you thought that Donald Trump being president is going to that Donald Trump being president was going to eliminate welfare, thus forcing black females to be put in this so-called negotiation table with y'all for so they can negotiate their submission for your resources. And that never happened. When the 2020 recession happened, you guys thought that the recession would create a lot of unemployed females, with which it did, but you thought that situation would bring would force females to go to this negotiation table, and that never happened, right? That never happened. As a matter of fact, the government, Big Daddy government, helped unemployed females so damn much, especially single mothers. And now you guys thinking that the overturning of Roe v. Wade is going to force females to be these good females and be in the negotiation table with y'all. Nigga, that shit ain't never going to happen. These bitches are still going to be hoes, my nigga. Hoes are still going to be hoes until they decide to stop being hoes. Shit. I mean, Too Short. Rapper Too Short told you dumbass niggas this 30 years ago that you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, you stupid motherfucker. You niggas on the internet are sitting there fantasizing and turning hoes into a fucking housewife. How pathetic is that? You niggas are pathetic. Kill your motherfucking selves, man. Jump off a fucking cliff head first. Dive off a fucking cliff head first, nigga. Shit. God damn. Somebody said, my man Sigma American Arcana says, them clowns you're speaking of don't want hoes to stop being hoes. They just want hoes to choose them. Now, this is when I say that if a nigga cannot get a hoe to choose them, then they need plastic surgery, because they some ugly motherfuckers then. Because how could you not get a hoe to choose you? A hoe wouldn't be a hoe if she was picky with a pussy, right? You know. You said, Wagner says, I got you. I bet if you had a little Wacky Junior on the way, now you would man up and take care of it instead of just killing it. Well, yeah. But realistically speaking, if I got a female pregnant, and thank God I never have, it would not be up to me to decide whether that child will get an abortion or not. But yeah, If I have children, of course I'll step up and take care of my children and be involved in my children's lives. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Punani politics at work. Exactly. Yeah. It is looked down upon in most Caribbean families. Yeah. You said the Book of Roman is funny. He said the dead Dickmocrats, no, excuse me, the dead Dickmocrats versus the Republican Party, the equals the Black Manosphere. Yeah, exactly. The dead Dickmocrats versus the Republican Party equals the Black Manosphere. For real, dog. For real. For real. For real. These niggas want hoes to choose them. I'm like, nigga, it's that goddamn hard to get a hoe to choose you? I mean, I feel bad for these dumbass niggas. No, actually, no, I take that back. I don't feel bad for these dumbass niggas. Because if you can't get a whore to want to sleep with you, then something's wrong with your dumb ass. These no pussy getting niggas, man. Shit. Homeboy says Superhead got a super tech dude, so there's hope. Yeah. And that's if she don't wash him out the cleaners. Shit. What's up, Juan G's? What's up, Juan G's? Yeah, that's if she don't wash his ass out the cleaners and shit. Man. You know. Shit. People thinking, you know, these pathetic ass motherfuckers in the so-called Black manosphere, assuming that this situation is going to get females, is going to put females in a position where she's forced to be with them. Like, do you know how pathetic you are in order to want a female to be forced to be with you? You just see, any guy that co-signs to that concept is a motherfucker that obviously show that they can't get no damn pussy. You want a female to be forced to be with you. What type of shit is that? Like, I look at a nigga like that as a rapist, because that's the same mentality that a rapist has, right? Because a rapist wants to force a female to do something that they don't want to do. See power in that. They see power in that. Like, any real nigga understand that they're not going to force, or they shouldn't even have to force a bitch to do anything for them. It's either it's in the bitch to compliment who they are as a man, or it's not in them. And if it's not in them, then shit, goodbye, bitch. How hard is that? Dumbass niggas. Well, back to the topic, right? If we're not talking about eliminating poverty, then we're not talking about solving the abortion issue and many other issues that plague America, especially so-called Black America. Because especially when it comes to a lot of things within Black America, a lot of the problems that we see within so-called Black America revolves around poverty. You know, crime is linked to poverty. Low education is linked to poverty. You know, like I said before, high rates of single parent homes, high rates of out of wedlock children or out of wedlock births is linked to poverty. teenage pregnancies linked to poverty, high drug usage linked to poverty, so if we're not talking about solving the poverty issue, we ain't really talking about shit. I mean, also high incarceration rates linked to poverty. So poverty is like the epicenter, or like one of the main focal points when it comes to influencing a lot of these negative things that we see in so-called Black America. And I don't see a lot of people within the so-called Black manosphere, the so-called Black conscious community, the so-called Black Hebrew Israelite community, or all these other, Black sectors within social media talk about that. he said it's bad when your thought waivers aren't accepted. Shit. He said the argument of this decision guaranteed affirmative action cheeks is laughable. Right, right, right. I, but I've been, but you know what? I'm done talking about this. I'm done talking about this topic. Please, people, if we're going to speak about abortion, let's base these things on facts. Let's be factually based. Do your research. Go to the CDC when it comes to their abortion statistics in 2019, which is the most recent abortion research that the CDC has made. Or if you guys, a lot of people view the CDC to be a bunch of liars. So if you don't want to take information from the CDC, go to the Guttmaker Institute. Guttmaker Institute, which is a private institution, I think a nonprofit organization that does a lot of research on abortion. And do your research on abortions. Because when you do your research on abortion, you realize that this overturning of Roe v. Wade is not really going to make a difference at all on either side of the abortion argument. It's not going to make a difference in eliminating abortion, nor is it going to make a difference when it comes to restricting females of abortion rights, because females can just travel to the next fucking state where abortion is legal and get their little abortion on, right? That is if they're looking for an abortion. It ain't gonna do shit. If we're not talking about getting rid of poverty as a solution to get rid of abortion, then we ain't talking about shit when it comes to this abortion argument. Anyhow, y'all have a good night. Peace out.